Wandering all over town drunk, but you go to kick a can and fall flat on your back like last time?
Oh! Did that right before I called you.
Why are you such a dumbass?
What the fuck?
Haida bros, I'm in a dark place. As you can tell, I am in the dark place. After all, Haida bros, we were supposed to win. Season 2 was our time. The entirety of Season 1 was there to build up Haida's character so he would end up with Retsuko. Literally, the final scene in episode 10, the only string left untied was this one between Haida and Retsuko. And he tells her his feelings, he grows as a man, he goes from a beta orbiter and finally becomes a Chad. And what happens? They shoot him down, not even in the main show. They shoot him down in the goddamn Christmas special. The Christmas special! Imagine being such a loser that you get shot down in the Christmas special instead of in the main season. How could this happen to us, Haida bros? This was our time. Anyways, I can't film in this dark. Let me turn on the lights. Alright, the lights are on. We may be out of the dark, literally, but metaphorically speaking, we must remain here with our boy Haida. We must wait, we must become patient so that Haida may rise up, and when he is rising up, we will rise with him. But anyways, what I want to talk about is Haida's character. In Season 1 of Retsuko, he was treated with so much reverence, he was given so much screen time. Out of all the other male characters in Aggretsuko, he was given the absolute most screen time and the most time to kind of flesh out his character. We found out a lot about Haida, and he realizes at the end of his own arc in Season 1 that the Retsuko he's come to fall in love with is just the surface of Retsuko. He only knows the Retsuko that kind of shows off that persona at work. He doesn't know that she freaks out inside. He doesn't know that she likes that kind of screamo rock type music. He doesn't really know anything about her, and he's willing to really get to know her now. And at the end of Season 1, it was his time to shine. But what did? They took all that character development and they just threw it out the window. They just took it and just threw it out the window during the Christmas special, not even in the main series. I didn't watch the Christmas special, so going fresh off Season 1 and you just hop right into Season 2, you're just left wondering, like, what happened to Haida? Where's Haida? What is he doing now? No, we have absolutely no idea what he's doing. If you just jump straight from Season 1 to Season 2, you have to watch the Christmas special. They should have bundled the Christmas special with the rest of Season 1, otherwise people will just get so confused, like me. But after watching the Christmas special, it just, oh man, and he gets shot down. Why? Like, Retsuko spent the whole first season just looking for a man that would understand her, and finally when she does, she shoots him down. Haida bros, where's the justice? At least this sock, at least it can double as a handkerchief. But my pain
is still far greater than yours!
Alright, so before I go deeper into Season 2, spoilers ahead by the way, I'd like to recommend you watch the show once in English sub and then watch it once in English dub, as watching in English dub actually adds a lot more to the show. For example, Retsuko, those parts where she freaks out and starts screamo rocking out, the localization team did a very good job in localizing what she's saying, and the voice actress, I think she does those screamo parts too, but actually now that I think about it, she probably doesn't, but whoever does those screamo parts really does it justice, and it's done really well, and I highly recommend you would check it out. The localization team does a pretty good job for the most part, but there's this one scene in particular. Of course it's Haida's scene. Man, Haida just can't catch a break. He can't get the girl and he can't get the good localization either. It's the scene I played in the beginning where Haida trips up in the rain and he says,
Before I called you.
before I called you, even though Fenneko was the one that called him. Fenneko called you, bro. You didn't call her. What? Haida bros. We just can't catch a break. Bad localization when it comes to him, and he can't get the girl.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Alright, so in Season 1 of Aggretsuko, it kind of shows off this more down-to-earth portrayal of relationships between not just love-type relationships, just relationships in general in the office, like what her relationship with her boss is, how her boss bullies her to the point where she tries to look for a rich husband so she doesn't have to work anymore, or her relationship between her co-workers, and eventually she finds some friends in the form of Gori and Washimi. Really heartwarming stuff, and it really shows her growing as a character, growing to become an adult. Well, I guess she's already technically an adult, but she grows as a person, and it's your typical realistic slice of life stuff, and I really enjoyed it. But in Season 2, they kind of dropped the whole realistic angle in the form of a more charming and dashing new handsome man for Retsuko to go with. And of course, I'm talking about our man Tadano, the Chad of the show, the guy who cucked Haida. So Tadano, his whole deal is that he starts off as a bum, and you think he's like this NEET who's going to driving school just so he can kind of get out of the house. And when he got first introduced, I thought they were going to do this thing where Retsuko in Season 1, her whole deal was she was looking for a rich husband, and now her husband or her new love interest would be really poor, so she would have have to provide for him, and maybe she would kind of learn to accept other people. You know, they would do something with that about him being poor, because in the first season she was looking for someone rich, and now that she's found someone, they're not rich. Will she go for love or money? They could do something like that. That's what I thought they were going to do, because that would be more realistic. But instead what they did was they made Tadano this super rich, super smart CEO guy who holds the apple like a Steve Jobs or something. He's out to change the world, and he's kind of like this new Gen Z Zoomer type guy who just doesn't believe in marriage. At the same time, I see where he's coming from, and I also see where Retsuko's coming from. But what I want to hone in on is their relationship. Like, why did the writers choose to do this? They could have done like a regular normal person rich guy, like someone like in the upper echelon of the company maybe. But to put this super genius like Tadano in the show, it just doesn't match the rest of the characters. The rest of the characters are super realistic and down to earth, but then you have this Tadano guy who's just this uber Chad, this uber mensch that pretty much no guy can compete with. And the only reason why they split up is actually, quite frankly, a really good reason. They split because they simply just want different things. And I thought that was a really good way to do the relationship, a good way to portray the relationship, because Tadano, he's super rich. Yeah, he's got all this stuff with him, but he doesn't believe in marriage. He doesn't believe in kids. And Retsuko, she wants like a more typical married life, and Tadano can't give it to her, and they end up splitting up because of that. Neither side wants to compromise for the other, and in the end, it's because of that they split up. Like, the relationship is done realistically, and it's done well, and you can't say Tadano's a villain. He's not a villain for wanting these things, and you can't say Retsuko's the villain because, you know, Retsuko wants what she wants. This is like a regular relationship. People just want different things, and they split up because of that. But Tadano's character just doesn't fit with the rest of the show. He sticks out like a sore thumb. Not just his character design, like he's uber mensch, like he's uber Chad already, but the fact that he's a super CEO man who talks about how automation is going to make people's lives better by avoiding jobs. Speaking of which, his whole philosophy also gets rebutted by Tone, which I thought the show did really well. Tone shows this side of where people need jobs, people need a reason to get up in the morning, people need a raison d'etre, because humans, we're not tools. We weren't made with a purpose. We have to make this purpose on our own. Tadano sees all these people. He sees all these wages, right? You go to McDonald's, you go to like an Amazon fulfillment center, and you see all these unfulfilled people. And he wants to free them. He wants to emancipate them from their current situation. But at the same time, you have people like Director Ton, Retsuko's boss, who says, well, some people, this freedom would just scare them. Like, finding your own purpose is not something that everyone can do. If someone doesn't tell you what to do, especially when you're young, you just don't know what to do. That's why a lot of people, even like me, who just go to college, we just left high school, go straight into college because our parents told us to do so. We don't know what to do with our life, and I can totally see where Director Tone's coming from. But at the same time, I can also see where Tadano's coming from with his whole, you should find your own meaning, people should be freed from this manual labor type stuff. I thought this was a really interesting take on it, and I was hoping the show would win on one of the other philosophies. Would the show be, you know, pro working, or would it be pro freeing people? I was wondering what the show would do, but the show doesn't win at all in this philosophical battle. The show doesn't say Tadano's right, the show doesn't say Tone's right. It kind of just presents both different views of the argument and then just leaves it at that. I think that's like a very long running theme of the show, is where they show a lot of themes and then they just don't finish them off. For example, in season 1, there are virtually no strings left untied. There are no stories that are just left hanging. Washimi and Gori subplot is tied up very well. Retsuko breaks up with the guy. The only one left hanging is Haida, of course. Haida gets cucked, feels bad, man. Pretty much everyone gets their own thing. Even Fenneko gets her own little arc where she goes on a date with some guy in like episode 7 or something. Everyone kind of gets their own character arc, and it gets filled up completely. But in season 2, a lot of character arcs are left hanging. For example, we have the fight between Washimi and Gori that's just completely dropped in episode 10. It starts in episode 9 when we find out that Washimi actually used to be married. And what happens is Gori says, well, all because marriage failed for you doesn't mean marriage is gonna fail for us. And Washimi doesn't like hearing this because this insinuates that she failed at marriage. Like, it's her fault that her marriage collapsed. And I totally expected this to kind of intertwine with the main plot with Tadano, because at the very end, obviously Aggretsuko splits up with Tadano because Tadano doesn't want to have kids, Tadano doesn't want to get married, and I thought because Retsuko wants to get married and wants to have kids, she would naturally side with Gori, but they just completely dropped the plot point and they never talk about it again. I'm guessing the director is hoping they'll get renewed for a season 3, and in season 3 they're going to touch upon whose side is right, and obviously Aggretsuko is going to side with Gori, right, because of the events that happened in season 2. Or they could totally pull a season 2 and just take all the Washimi and Gori stuff and throw it out the window like they did with Haida. Another character that they introduced in season 2 but then completely dropped throughout the later half of season 2 is Anai. And some of you may not know this, but Anai actually shows up in the original Aggretsuko 100 episode. They're about 1-minute shorts. Like, Aggretsuko actually started off as a bunch of 1-minute long short episodes. There's about 100 of them. You can watch them on your favorite illegal streaming website. Google how to find them, because I'm pretty sure there's no way to watch them legally. And they bring you this... I made the mistake of marathoning all the episodes in one day, and it brings you a lot of pain. You know what? Let's watch one of the episodes together so that you can get an idea of what the pain is really like by watching these episodes. Let's watch episode 32, shall we? One Piece? One Piece? Play instantly. Holy crap, I am in, but I can't. Well, let's turn off the lights. All right, there we go. Aggressive Retsuko kitchen.
先輩ちょっといいですか
Oh shit. Wolfgang. Side character. Shit, it's happening. It's happening, guys. It's happening. Those shoes, though. Kabedon. You know this guy's Uber Chad.
言おうかどうか迷ったんですけどもう覚悟決めた
Shit, it's happening. It's happening, guys. It's happening.
先輩金貸してもらえます3万いや2万でいいんですよちょっと遊びすぎちゃって月末には返しますね
The pain. Well, that was pretty much every single episode of Aggretsuko. Every single episode of those 100 shorts just brings you so much pain. You know the saying that says, other people are hell? That's what Aggretsuko, the 1-minute shorts, are anyway. She just meets her other coworkers, and each one of her coworkers exhibit a specific trait of people that is just undesirable. Every time I watch this, it just reminds me of how much I hate interacting with people. And if you marathon all 100 episodes in one day, you're gonna come out of it hating humanity. You're gonna come out of this with a lower standard for humanity if you watch this short. I'd recommend maybe spacing it out a bit, maybe watch maybe 5 episodes and then space it out every day and watch another 5 episodes, because if you marathon it like me, like, it's really short, they're about 1 minute long, you can totally do it. But after marathoning it, you're going to feel like humanity doesn't deserve a second chance. As I was saying, the way they treat Anai in the short 100 episodes is he is kind of a typical rookie who just can't stop asking for directions. You know that guy at the office who's always like, hey, I forgot how to do this. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with that? Hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? He's like more of your typical rookie, and they do that kind of joke with him, and he kind of stands up for Retsuko in one of the episodes, and it's great. But in the official Netflix version, they decide to opt for a more contemporary look at a issue people are having with the office space. You know those guys on Twitter who just feel like they have the need to fix other people's words, to not just grammar Nazi, but to just say things that, you know, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And then they take nice things and they take it the wrong way. It's just a complete miscommunication between generations, I believe. And I think I'm guilty of this too, but I have not taken it as far as Anai. Wait a second. Is that a dislike on my video? I consider this an attack on my person. Please confirm why you disliked my video at precisely 3 p.m. of today. Please send your response in writing. In writing.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me.
Another question that Aggretsuko Season 2 brings up is the fact that I always thought that these characters, Retsuko, for example, is a red panda. But I always thought she was a red panda because that's just the way they show it to us, because they're just humans, right? Their character arcs are just regular human arcs, but then when they talk to us, we see them through the lens of cute animals, because cute animals are much more marketable than regular human beings, and because the company that funded the original Aggretsuko series is the company that made Hello Kitty, and they make a lot of these plushies and they sell a lot of the merchandise, they need to make merchandisable, nice, cute characters, and they just so happen to take these characters and put them in a realistic human-like environment. For example, Retsuko's boss, he's a pig because she sees him as a pig. That's what I thought they were doing. But in season 2, they make a joke about Washimi wagging her tail whenever she's happy. So does that mean they're actually animals? Like, I never thought they were actually animals. I thought they were representing humans, but they just look like animals because that's how Retsuko would see them. Washimi looks like an eagle because she must be really prim and proper. Gori must look like a gorilla because she's really outgoing and she kind of looks like a gorilla. Like, I thought they were gonna do stuff like that. And Haida is a hyena because he pretty much acts like a hyena male. He stalks the one female and he's pretty much a beta orbiter. I thought they were just animals to represent the type of person they are. So does that mean they're actually animals? So does that mean Director Ton, the pig, is eating his own kind? Anyways, that's all I have to say about Aggretsuko Season 2. Please smash that like button to show support for Haida. Haida bros, we need to stick together. We need to stay strong until Season 3. And don't forget to let me know in the comments whether you think Haida deserves Retsuko, or if Retsuko deserves a goddamn second chance, or it's finally time for Haida to move on to better pastures, to greener pastures, otherwise known as Fenneko. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Aggretsuko Season 2, and I'll see you guys next time. Normally, I'm the one who walks that way, but this is where I work, so I can't leave this place. So how about you close your eyes? Yeah, that's right. Just close your eyes and I'll show you the door. Wait a second. Magic jigsaw puzzles? What the